Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching. My name is Barbara. I'm from AllBrands.com, and I am so excited on the show today, the AllBrands show. We're making history. So we have often had Start Your Own Business seminars at our locations in Louisiana and Texas, but this is our first virtual Start Your Own Business seminar. So it's usually 3 hours long. So we're going to try to jam pack it into an hour with a wonderful, wonderful brother educator who we all know and love, Coleen Swettman. And she just has so much information to give us. And if you have any questions, please give us a comment and let us know what you're thinking, if you have ideas, if you have questions, and I'll be moderating the comments. So, oh my gosh, it's so good to see everybody popping in already. Marilyn, Charlene, and Gwen, good to see you. And so without further ado, I will bring in Coleen Swettman from Brother. Hi, Coleen.
Welcome. Thanks for being here with us today. This is fun. And hey, we're trailblazers with our very first virtual show. That's exciting. So if I talk a little fast, it's because, as Barbara mentioned, we're condensing this. So I had to go through and cut out a little bit of the gravy and just get to the nitty gritty of the meat and potatoes. So I think I did a pretty good job of getting it to what you got to know. And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so we're going to go over the Brother Multineedle embroidery machines because there is a lot of features and benefits that benefit people that are wanting to get into business. And it's really important to know your machine. So we'll be doing an overview of that and then getting into things like, what do I price this at? How do I get a business license? Just everything that you need to know to get started in embroidery. And I forgot to mention, Coleen, we have 2 prizes to give away in this video. So I'll announce that right now.
Exciting.
Yeah, I forgot to say. So,
yay.
So during this video to one lucky watcher, and at the end, we will announce we're giving a $50 AllBrands.com gift card to a live watcher of this show on Facebook or YouTube. And if you like, comment, or share this post, it's October 2020 right now. On October 30th, 2020, we will be announcing a $100 gift card. So be sure to like, comment, and share this post to be eligible to win that.
That sounds like a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get started?
Yes, ma'am, please do.
So as Barbara mentioned, we're going to be talking about the multi-needle. And while I'm switching this camera so that you can look at my multi-needle screen, because that's what I'm going to do for you. She's going to switch the camera and I can move it around so that you can see my multi-needle screen. And it's not that what we're trying to do with the multi-needle is to let you see and to understand the benefits. So there we are. I think I've got my camera situated for them now. Does that look good?
Yes, ma'am. I think we're ready to go.
So the thing about a multi-needle, I know some of you are interested in starting a business with your single needle, and you certainly can do that. We're going to give you all the tools to do that too. But what you will find over time is the demand will exceed your capability and your time restraints. And you're going to start looking at a multi-needle. It's inevitable. I don't know anyone that hasn't started a business that doesn't move into the multi-needle. So that's why we're starting here, to just let you see the features that will facilitate for you. So this is a nice big screen. It's about the size of a Samsung tablet, actually. So it's a nice big size to work with. And there's all kinds of things. It has hundreds of built-in designs, shapes, automatic buttonholes, monogramming, our lettering fonts, and then it's got these big, just spectacular. These are usually 5 or 6 inches. So well, this one's 5.5. So that makes a spectacular monogram. And then here, of course, for the Greek letters, because everybody needs those at some point in their relationship with people. And then this is a fun one because it is our quilt sashing key. So it will take us into quilting. So you can choose just a one color, or you can choose a multicolor. And we'll come back to that a little bit later on because that's a new feature and I love it. Let's look at some of the new designs because these are pretty exciting. I'm going to just choose this guy for a second. And I'm going to set him into place. And now that we've opened a design, our toolbox opens up. So we have our tools where we can do things. So the first thing is resizing. And I can resize this with the same stitch count, or even better, I can resize it with this key, which tells me it's changing the stitch count. So if I needed to reduce this and make it significantly smaller, I can do that. And the stitch count is going to change. So that makes it wonderful, wonderful to resize a design and have it come out perfectly. I do monitor one of the help boards for the PR, and that a customer just had a problem with that the other day, and I was able to tell them how to fix their problem. So that was kind of fun. This is rotate. This, of course, is flip. Density, means how thick or how light the design is. This will allow you to change a color. So if I didn't want to see that blue, maybe I would like to see it in a light blue. It actually changes it so I can visually see the difference. That's really a nice way to audition designs so that you can see the colors. And I'm going to leave that for now. This one, I can't do with the big design, but what it does is it allows you to group a whole bunch of small designs. So let's say you're having to do patches for the bowling league or the Boy Scouts or Girl Scout cookies or whatever. You can make one little design and then you can just tell it to plus and it'll keep filling the page. I've done as many as 30 or 40 of those little patches at a time. So that's really a nice tool to have right there. You don't have to run to software or anything. This is copy paste. So if you have something small, you can just have another copy. This is going to group it so you can move it all around easily. This will align it for you. This one turns it into an applique, and it may not because this design is so big, it might not let me do that. Oh, nope, it did. So it turned it into an applique patch. And quite honestly, I do a lot of these large applique patches for jackets and things where people don't want the jacket to be perforated. So I'll stitch the whole design on and then just only the applique piece is stitching. So it's really, really a nice way to do that. So that's just my little trick to make my life easy, and I can just turn it off that easily. So I'm going to get rid of that guy. Oops. There we go. Now, the next fellow is how to take him into my design center, and we'll probably do that a little bit later, but it's actually just going to put it around it so I can put an outline around it so I can bring him in and put quilting around him because we have all kinds of quilting in the My Design Center program. This guy is going to add stippling or echo quilting just right on the screen. Ooh, that's pretty exciting, isn't it? And then we have some additional tools down here. And let's go on to the next page. These are the last things you're going to do. You're going to rotate. You might want to add a basting line. So there's your basting line. This is to connect it if you needed it to go all the way around a quilt or something or tablecloth. This will help you line it up perfectly each time. This little fellow right here says that I can come in and not stitch something. So that light blue, I don't really want that to stitch. And that lilac-y color that I changed, I don't want that to stitch either. So just that quickly, I got rid of those colors. On your home machines, all you do is you just don't thread a color and you skip to the next one. But this guy's got 10 threads. And so he knows to go from one thread to the next and back and forth as needed. So I actually have to tell him not to stitch those. And this one is a friend that you're going to meet in a minute, and it's truly my best friend. I think I cried when I met him. The snowman makes you perfect. You can't mess it up because the snowman makes you perfect. This will color sort for you. You're laughing with me, aren't you? Not at me, right?
Yeah, I love that story.
Oh, I mean, oh goodness, I love him. So color sorting, let's say I'm doing 4 applique patches or 4 designs that I'm going to cut and put on pockets, and they're red, blue, and white. This one, if I touch it, it will stitch all the reds first, and then all the blues, and then all the whites. So it's just a little bit more efficient. This guy turns the entire design to one color, and it diverts to white, but you could choose any color that you wanted it to stitch. So sometimes, you know, a design would be really pretty in not as many colors. So that's why that's there. And then you just go to embroidery and you're ready to stitch. And it does tell me that I need to change one color. The rest of the colors are on the machine, and I can close that and I'm ready to stitch. So it's got some pretty wonderful tools there that that really make your success pretty probable. So I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to go home right now because there's a whole page I didn't show you, and it's a pretty exciting page. It's called My Design Center. And My Design Center is a basic digitizing program that's on board on your machine at all times. So you can scan in something with, let me just grab this fellow, and I hope I don't have him too close. Oh, there we go. This is a scan board, and it comes with the machine, and you can put coloring book drawings or kids' drawings on it and scan it, and they will come up on your machine, and then you can digitize them into a design. And I do that. I've done that with several designs. Today, we're just going to play with a shape. So we're going to choose our shapes, and we're going to choose a star because we're going to stitch a toddler t-shirt, and this little fella's a real star. So that looks pretty big to me. So I'm going to go into my tools and size it. So this is not a design at this point, it's just a graphic. So I don't have to worry about stitches. And I'm just going to take it down to about, probably 3.5-ish. Oops, that's a little smaller. There we go. Just because I don't want it to overwhelm the shirt. And there, whoops, pushed the wrong button. There we go. So now I have a little design. I'm going to touch OK. And I'm going to digitize this design right before your very eyes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose an outline. This top box is for the outline. The bottom box is for the fills. And of course, there's a million other tools here, copy, paste, and all sorts of things. But we're going to just go right into digitizing. So we're going to touch the card. The card is the key to where the stitches are. So I have satin, single, triple, all these pretty stitches. But if you were to touch this stitch right here, you'll come up with the word select. And anytime you see select, if you touch it, it opens up a file folder full of more stuff. So I have all of these additional 10 stitches to choose from that I could put around his shirt. In this case, I'm going to go with the chain stitch because I really like it. And I'm going to touch blue, and I'm going to touch OK. Now the pencil would tell me that I just wanted a little dot of blue, and I don't. I want the whole outline to be blue at once. So I'm going to pour from the bucket. And then I'm going to touch it, and I hope you can see it turn blue. It's a little hard, but you'll see it in a minute. Now I want to fill this, so I'm going to touch the card, and I'm going to, this is a fill stitch. This, of course, is a stippling stitch, and these are all different decorative background fills that are built into the machine. Now, if you needed more than the 36 that are included in the machine, we also have a wonderful software program called PE Design 11, and it has 54 more backgrounds and the ability to create your own. Now, don't go down that path because it's way too much fun. When you start making your own background fills and they can match anything you want, it's really fun. But today I'm going to choose number 31, and I'm going to tell the machine OK. And I think we'll do a blue fill, and we'll take OK. Ooh, I'm going to have to change those colors now that I think about what shirt I'm doing. I'm leaving it blue actually, so you can see it on the screen. That's why. So let's go back. I didn't touch the design to fill it, did I? Look, I did it wrong. See, you just get that little dot. That's no good. So touch the bucket, and fill it. There we go. Now we'll touch next. And now we have the ability to edit. So I want to edit my outline. It's going to stitch 5 times. I really only wanted it to stitch 3. And I could change the length, but the length is fine. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to touch the next arrow and I'm going to look at my fill. And my fills really nicely, but I have all these choices. So let's see what I could do. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller because it is for a little star. I'm going to say, okay. And that's what it's going to look like. This would change the angle. I'm happy with the angle, so I won't mess with it. This would add an outline. I don't need an outline because I put on my own. This one will make it wonky. I love these, but I'm not going to use it today. But see how it distorts them? Isn't that fun? It really can change it quite a bit. So we're going to go back to normal. This guy will move him. If it wasn't centered perfectly, you would be able to center it perfectly. I really like the way that it's centered, so I'm leaving it alone. And the last one is thickness. Do I want it to stitch 3 times or 1 time? Well, 1 time is all I need for today. So there we go. We're going to touch, you can touch memory, but you're going to touch set. And it says it's converted to an embroidery pattern now. And you're leaving this digitizing program design center. And is it okay to do that? Yes, it is. And there we are. We're in our embroidery screens and you've already seen those. So you kind of have a pretty good idea of what that's like. So we're not going to have to change anything here. We're going to touch edit end and we don't have to touch anything here. Well, we do because I cheated. I hooped my shirt this morning because I knew we wouldn't have as much time as normal. So I'm going to hold this over in front. When you're hooping a shirt, I'm dyslexic, I'm sorry. When you're hooping a shirt, you're always going to leave your hoop screw at the top or the bottom so that it's easy to change and tighten if you need to. And you'll see that I have put Mr. Snowman on here. So what I will do is I will fold the shirt in half and then I'll just put the snowman about where I want it to be. Now this machine arm is set for a larger hoop. So I'm going to just small it down a little bit to the 4x4. And we just slide it in. And then we're going to take this guy. Now I'm going to do a trick here. I'm going to put him in. Let's see if I'm going to have to move the camera so that you can see him as he goes in. And I think I do. So let's do this.
Well, Coleen, while you're changing the camera, so it's so good to see everyone watching. And Gwen, to answer your question, that is the new Brother PR1055X that just came out this year. It replaces the 1050. It has so many user-friendly features and benefits on it. It makes your life so much easier. And DIG watching from YouTube says looks so user-friendly. Yes, and this one more so than the previous models, just because there's so many, like there's the forward and back button now, which is like, oh, so great. I'll let you go into that a little bit more, Coleen, though. Is your camera ready?
I think so. We'll see.
Okay.
It's hard to tell when it's not on the screen because can you see the hoop is here on the machine now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Gwen asks, how is threading? Gwen, it's very easy.
Okay, so the threading, you're only going to thread it once in your life. And the reason is because from then on, you're going to cut the thread at the spool, tie a knot, and just pull it through. And then it does have an automatic needle threader, so it does thread every needle itself. Would you like to see how that works? Because we can do that.
Sure.
Let's see.
Y'all want to vote? Yeah, so it's super, super easy. Good to see you, Jill. Say something funny.
All right.
Always,
so can they see you have to be my eyes here because I don't want to waste time looking back and forth. Can they see my needle threader?
No, you need to go down a little bit more.
How's that?
There you go.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm down and to the left. You're asking for a
Oh,
lot.
the needle threader on the machine. Oh,
Yes.
I see it on the screen. Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant
Okay.
in the front of the needle.
No,
Got it.
so I'm just going to grab this thread out. And so you can see that it is not threaded at this point. And there is a wonderful movie on the machine that will take you through every step. But like I said, you're only ever going to thread it once anyway. So it's not really a challenge to learn. So what we're going to do is we're going to touch the needle threader icon on the machine. And it brings down a threading tool. Can you see the threading tool pop into place? And I'm just going to come across and I'm going to go from right to left underneath the hooks. There's 3 little hooks right there, and up and over here. And that cuts your thread to the right length so that it'll thread perfectly. And then I'm going to touch the needle threader button a second time. And it's all done. That was it. Was that cool?
Yeah. Don't make me sing the brother theme song, the It's So Easy theme song.
Oh.
Because I will.
Can you see the snowman on the fabric?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a little snowman. Notice that he's upside down because I put the shirt in upside down, right? That's going to be okay because what we're going to do is we're going to touch the snowman icon on the machine and it says, is it okay to revert? And we're going to say, all right. And we're going to tell it okay for the center because you could do left or right or whatever, but we're going to just say okay for the center. And we're going to tell it okay. And oh, look at on the screen. What is that? It's Mr. Snowman. Now what it's doing is my camera is authenticating and checking Mr. Snowman to make sure that he is in the right position and that there's plenty of room. Can you see that it says to remove the positioning mark and that it's flipped my star upside down? Did you see all that? That's pretty cool. Now I do want to remove that. And I'm going to tell you from having someone told me, I certainly didn't make this mistake myself more than once, that if you stitch through those, they don't come out in the wash. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Okay. So this is going to stitch the first color on number 3, which is blue, which seems fine to me. And I want the second color to be the same blue. No, let's let the second color be yellow. So we're going to just magic wand that to number 2. That'll be my center. This one will be my number 3. And that way I can switch my colors very, very easily. And then I'm just going to let this guy stitch. I'm going to make sure I didn't catch any shirt in there because all the bad parts of the shirt are hanging down. Can you, let me tip this so maybe you can see the shirt is all hanging down here below. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to start him. And then I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about the business side of this, okay? So lock and stitch. So you can watch him stitch, but I do want to talk about the business side. Because there. Can you hear me? Because I'm not too close to the machine.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. Great. I didn't tell you in the beginning, but the machine comes with the machine, a really nice support table, 4 different really good sized hoops, the toolbox, and the scan mat. So you get a lot. And then there may be some extra wonderful bonuses from the company that you're purchasing from too.
We'll
now,
get
one
to
of the
that
things
at the
that
end. I assure you. There's a good deal right now.
Yeah, I thought there might be. So when you're talking about pricing, because pricing is very important, and we're actually going to play a pricing game here in a little bit. But one of the things that you have to consider is that you must have a business license. Now, I'm not going to say you gotta, but I'm going to say you're going to wanna. And the reason is because I don't ever take, or I rarely take something from someone to embroider for them. I would much prefer to sell them the product and the embroidery. Why? Because I know I get to embroider on good stuff. If you take things that they want to bring you to embroider upon, you do not have control over the quality of what they bring you. That's key. The second part of that is, if something happened, you spilled coffee on it or whatever, and you're not able to use it, then you've got a problem. So I'll tell you a little story about what happened to me. A lady asked me to do a shirt. She brought me the shirt. I did the shirt. She was thrilled with the shirt. But what she didn't tell me was she was doing it for Garden Club, and she was testing me. So when they saw the logo and they were so happy with it, then they needed 30 shirts. Well, the shirt that she bought was on closeout, last day sale, one size, size medium she wears, great. And there was one and she bought it. Well, now she wants 30 of those. And guess what? There aren't any. And not only that, her friends aren't all medium size. So the best thing is for me to handle the purchasing. I can get a large variety of sizes. Most of the companies I buy from, I can get the shirt in this toddler size up to an adult 5X. Now you have a limited color scheme at 5X, but you do get shirts, and you can get them for the whole family. So to me, it's very, very important. The first key to getting those types of contacts is to get that business license. And to get that, you're going to go to louisiana.gov. Louisiana.gov. If you're in Louisiana, if you're in a different state, then you go to that state.gov. They all are more than happy to provide you with all the information that you need to get your business license. They are thrilled to have you get a business license because you will pay taxes, and they like that. You'll make so much more money, you'll like that too. So that's important for everybody. You can see that the lights are flashing because the machine is finished, and I'm just going to pull it out so that you can see how totally adorable that is. Can you see the little yellow twinkle in there and the blue outline? Is that fun?
That's beautiful, Coleen.
This is for a little boy's birthday. He's the star of the show at his birthday. Do you get it? Is that fun? Okay, so step one, get that business license so that you can get going. Step two, you're going to look at some wholesale suppliers. And the reason you're going to buy wholesale, again, is because they will take care of you. They will typically either have enough or tell you they don't have enough and they can't get it for a week or whatever. So you know. So can you show that slide of the wholesale suppliers?
Yes. The second one? Finding supplies. Okay.
Yes. So the reason that I put this up for you is so that you would see, it sounds scary, but it's not. If you will just get any one of the embroidery style magazines, and look in the back, you'll see a bunch of advertisements. Now, first of all, look and see where they're located. There are many, many, many in the United States. We're seeing some come from China now. You need to watch that. I ordered something not too long ago. It came from China. It took 5 weeks. Now, it did come, and I didn't need it for 5 weeks, so it was perfectly fine. But just know that most of them will tell you where they're located. Many of them have warehouses all over the United States. A lot of the bigger companies have warehouses in at least 4 or 5 locations so that they can ship to you very, very quickly. I happen to have one in Portland, so I can run down there and get my stuff same day. Is that not fair? Oh, sorry. When you are looking at product, get the good stuff. Get the good stuff from the good companies, because that's what makes people come back to you. If the shirt wears nicely and continues to look nicely, they're going to be excited about it, and they're never, ever going to look anywhere else. Once you have a customer who loves what you do for them, they will never, ever leave you. So do stick with that. We're going to play the pricing game now. And let's see, I've talked about wholesale. Oh, copyright. Let's talk about copyright real quick. Copyright designs. So are you going to use them? No, you're not. You're never going to use a copywritten design because that'll get everybody into trouble. When in doubt, just shoot the design to the company. It is possible for people to buy a copyright. I've had people bring me their copies of the fact that they have purchased, and that's okay. I will do that copywritten design at that point, but not without that. So let's play the pricing game because that takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to hold this up in front of here and I'm going to describe it for you. So this is, let's see, Barbara, I'm going to move the camera back just a little bit. Thank you.
All right.
She does it.
And Gus, I like your car. Gus says good advice about ordering from China. And I agree, because speed is very important. Okay, here's Coleen.
Okay, so this is a beautiful 100% cotton shirt. And with the pricing game, you have to tell me what you would pay for it. And Barbara's going to collate what you send in. So I really want to hear from a bunch of you. This is 100% cotton jersey knit. It is got a banded cuff, which means it looks nice. It's got a banded inside collar. So the inside collar is soft and not scratchy. It is a top quality, and it has a beautiful monogram logo on it for whatever company you would want it to be. It even has nice buttons. I mean, this is really a top quality shirt. What would you expect to pay if you were your customer? What would you pay if you were buying this beautiful shirt with the logo on it? What would be a fair price? So shoot those off to Barbara, because I want to know. I want to hear what you got to say. It is nice, isn't it? And this one's been washed several times, by the way, just saying. And you know that little snowman that you loved? Well, I'm going to let you love him even more now, because if you get PE Design 11, which is one of my favorite softwares in the whole world, you can actually print a handy little template that looks like this. It has the logo on it and it has the snowman on it. So what I do is I lay the shirt on the table. I have a couple of pieces of tape on this. I just tape it into place, stick. Hoop it up. Don't care if it's hooped crooked or straight. Doesn't make any difference to me because the machine's going to fix it anyway. And boom, off it goes into the machine and embroiders. Is that a slick trick? You can print these out. I actually have printed multiples of these. So one side is longer. So when I'm putting it up against the button placket, I know whether it's going to fit a small, a medium, or a large shirt.
Wow.
I'm not lazy. I'm efficient.
So we've gotten several so far.
Oh, good.
And it looks like it's all as low as $29.99 and as high as $50.
Okay. So the low at $29.99, I'd like to know where you're shopping. No, I'm just kidding. It's if you go into JCPenney's today and buy this quality of shirt, you're at 45 bucks. I should have said that in the beginning. But now, so even at 50, but here's the deal. What did I pay for this? Are you ready? You're willing to pay. We're going to choose the 50. Was it 50 was the top?
Yes. So is this like the Price is Right?
Yeah, no, I just want it to be fair. I want it to be so that everybody was comfortable. So if I raised it up to say 45, right? For the guy who's paying 29, he'd expect to pay more for the embroidery, or the girl, you'd expect to pay more for the embroidery. So anyway, here we are. We're going to choose 45, right? That's my number for this shirt. Done, ready, folded, comes to you. You don't have to do anything. What do I pay for this shirt? That's the trick question, huh? It's less than $15 for a top quality shirt. So how much did I make on that? Let your fingers do the math. Okay.
I'm just going to go backstage and y'all can do the math.
So one of the things that I'm going to do, not ever say these words. I'm going to say these words to you and you are never to repeat them. Lightning will strike you dead in your sewing room if you say them. My Joann's has a sign up and it says $1 per 1,000 stitches, because people always ask, how do you charge? Well, $1 per 1,000 stitches is what Joanne writes on their poster at my store. But let me tell you what happens. The person comes in and what they want is just a nice little monogram here on their shirt, nice little letter S or C or B or whatever. Well, those are 600 stitches. Do the math. You really want to do that job for 60 cents? Not thinking you do. And I'm sure I don't. So what you do is you have a setup fee. And the setup fee has been for many, many years, $10. So someone brings you something and you're going to put your stabilizer and your thread, which is usually less than 50 cents worth of product, into it. But your time and your machine, you're still going to charge that $10. And you may charge 15 or, it depends on where you are. But is everybody comfortable with like the math on this? If we sell it for 45 and we paid 15, how much should we make on this shirt? And this logo, I'm going to tell you, is I can easily do 6 of these in an hour. Are you with me on the math here? Made it worth your time, didn't it? Now this
is I think I'm going to have to put my machine to work.
Yeah, no
That's
kidding.
a good deal. Yeah.
So, you're working smarter, not harder, and you're letting the machine do the work for you. So that's why I love the pricing game, because you have to be the one to figure out the price. You can sell those to groups. You can sell them to individuals. I do some of the stuff with teams. So I'll approach the soccer league and I'll say, how would you like to do this as a fundraiser? And I have a bag that I show them and they love it and they buy it and they do all of the work. I don't have to do anything but buy the bags, monogram them, and deliver them to their team mom. So we'll come back to that in just a little bit. I did talk about copywriting, so be careful of that. Software is a wonderful, wonderful tool. We saw that right here in our own MDC on the machine. You can do some things. I also love our PE Design 11 software. It is a full functioning software. It does everything. If you know how to type a Word document, you will know how to navigate through our software because it has file folders to tell you what to pick, and it makes it pretty straightforward and easy. And one of the things that our software has that's really special, and this is a photograph of my favorite granddaughter. And the photograph is done in thread. I hope that you can see from the texture that this is all thread. Now, sometimes I get in trouble for having a favorite granddaughter, but if you stop and think about it a minute, you know that I only have one, right? So this is my favorite granddaughter. Isn't she beautiful? I'm totally not biased.
It's hard to even tell that that's stitches, Colleen. So that's using Photo Stitch, which is in PE Design 11, the professional digitizing software by Brother.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Is that amazing?
Can you hold it a little closer to the camera? I feel like it's just
if I
so
hold
hard
it closer
to even tell. Wow.
Oh, you mean it's hard to tell that it's thread?
Yeah, it's just so well done.
You should see the one I did of my dog. I didn't bring it in, but you can even see the reflection in her eye. So it's just totally amazing to me what that software can do. I mean, it's just beyond belief. Now I'm going to flash back to my design center for a second because I didn't show you this because we were kind of on a roll. But
okay. Oh,
you ready?
I thought you were going to move your camera. No, oh, wow.
Okay, so do you know what this is? It's a pillowcase.
Is that Tristan's own handwriting?
It's
cute.
Tristan's own handwriting from first grade, and he never went to preschool or kindergarten, so this was his first homework. And we were there visiting, and I said, "Oh, honey, can Grandma have your homework?" And he gave it to me, and I took it home and I put it on that scan board I showed you, and it pops the letters right up in the screen, and then stitches them out. Is that just the most fun ever? I mean, that's the stuff they love. So I want to get, I do want to show you some quilting, and then I'll go back to the machine itself. You see the quilting on this? That's one of the built-in quilting designs. Isn't that beautiful? And the machine is clever enough to match it up for me because I may or may not be that clever, but it is. So it's all right. that
Colleen,
uses.
I have to tell you, I am so excited about the 10 needle for quilting with the new magnetic sashing frame. And
Okay.
it's called the sashing frame, but you can use it for other things. I have been doing stippling across the full uh, portion of a quilt instead of putting it on a long arm, and it is amazing. I can have it sewing while my embroidery. I can sew on my sewing machine while my embroidery machine is quilting my quilt.
No,
It's
I
awesome.
just love this, but don't tell anybody. You can use this hoop for stuff besides quilting, but just kind of keep it our secret, okay? Now, what the
Yes,
hoop
ma'am.
that Barb was talking about is this one. It's a magnetic sash hoop. And what it does is these are all, just I'm going to pull one off here. These are all magnets and they hold in place. They won't hurt you, but that you could hear it snap into place. What I love about this, and I'm going to pull this one off and I'm going to move really close to the camera because this one amazed me. So I'm going to get really, really, really right up in the camera's face. And I'm going to pull this magnet off. And do you see what it was holding in place? A flat fell seam with a flat fell seam. And held it perfectly tight for stitching. Is that amazing? So it will hold the heavy things. I've got another jacket to show you that it held. Are you ready for this guy? This is a really, really heavy jacket. It's actually a fire department jacket. The jacket itself weighs about 3.5 pounds. So yes, and I'm sorry I'm crooked there. Isn't that amazing? And those letters are right, they're just built into the PR, so you just grab it and go. And this was done in that magnetic sash frame. That tool is worth its weight in solid gold. So just because they call it the sash frame, don't let that fool you. So I have some other fun things to show you. So this is, I'm going to step back. This is a 14 by 14 inch design. So that's a hoop that's available, or you can do a 14 by 14. You stitch the top half, turn the hoop around and stitch the bottom half. So you can do gigantic designs with it. Let's see, what else should we do for?
We
To
have
show
a
them.
question.
Did we say we'd answer questions?
Yeah, but
Okay.
but we just got one so far from Gwen. We've had a lot of comments, but our question is, what is the frame size of this machine?
Same as the largest
And
hoop. It's about 8 by 14.
yes. And can I show you something that I've been working on? I know we didn't
Yes.
we didn't plan on me showing a sample, but this is what I've been doing. This is my quilt, and in my design center, I have stippling, and I've just been stippling across the whole top of the quilt, and it's so beautiful. And I can, in my design center, make the stippling larger or smaller. Since I wanted this quilt to have drape, I did the single stitch instead of the triple stitch. So
Right.
I love it. So it's so very versatile.
It looks good. I'm
Thanks.
proud. You did good. Because
Thank you.
she's not actually a quilter, are you?
I try to do a little bit of everything, honestly.
Oh, me too. Me too. I wanted to show you some samples real quickly, and I wanted to show you some additional hoops because those are fun and they're good tools. And I want to show you this guy right here. This guy is the playbook, and the reason I'm showing the playbook is that it is written for this machine and it teaches you how to use the machine and do projects. So it's kind of like having me sitting there beside you. So it comes with a video card in the front. It comes with I just want to open a page here so you can see a page. So the directions have, I'm going to go this way, I'm sorry. The directions have pictures so you know what to touch. And there's all kinds of projects. So this is a wonderful, wonderful book with the videos and the help. So that's something that you might want to do if you're just starting out. There are some accessory hoops that are wonderful to use, one of which is the hat hoop. So let me show you some caps. Now, one of the things about caps is, guess what caps bring? Lots of money. What will they pay for a cap? Well, at Lids, they'll pay 50 or 60 bucks. So, and what does a cap cost? About $5. 10 if you get a really fancy one. So I want to show you this guy. This is a snapback cap. So it has a flat, I'm sorry, this one is a flat brim. And this is really popular with certain groups right now. And you can see how beautifully, beautifully, beautifully that's stitched out. And it's just right above the, not even quite a finger's width above the brim. So that has to have a little bit of clearance so people can see it. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so here's another one. This is called a snapback. So when you mess with the hoop, it the brim, it snaps back into place. And this design is in the machine also. I think most of them I'm showing you are. Another snapback. These are very stiff. I will have to tell you that because I'm an educator, I have to play with all the toys. So when I got it, I had to try it on everything, a good cap, a bad cap, a cheap cap, and everything I did was successful. So there we go, finally. Isn't that beautiful? And this cap is very, very easy to use. It is our newest cap frame. So I'm going to show you one more. Now I want to show you this one because you saw the shirt. So here's the matching cap. Now this is a second cap frame that is available. It's the 14-inch. And you get the front logo, a side logo, which was the name. And in this case, I put the flag on. So you get all of that in one hooping. So you really, really get a lot of bang for your buck on that. And then this little design is in there too. This is the large.
Which you're still on the flat brim cap frame?
That would, no,
wide?
We shifted to the 14.
Okay, so there's two, the flat brim
Uh-huh.
or there's a wide angle cap frame available. So
Correct.
Two options for cap frame for the PR10 needle.
Correct. So let me just
machines.
show you what the 14-inch looks like. It's right here. So it's got this great big arm on it so it can shift, and that's how it does the whole cap. So it does the front and the left and the right, the whole thing in one hooping. And a lot of times people will charge extra for those extra hoopings, but if you have this frame, you don't have to have it be an extra hooping. You can just get by with charging the extra rate. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Now this guy is the newest hoop. This is the one they're calling the flat brim hoop. And he is so much easier to use than anything we've had before. This little plastic brim just slides right onto place, and then it pops right off when you're done. So, and this guy just fits onto the drivers like the others do. You just slide it in, twist it, and snap, and it's done. If we have time, I'll come back and actually put one on, but I can see that we're running a little bit slow on time. I have a couple more I want to show you. This fella right here is called a sleeve hoop. Now, the reason he's called a sleeve hoop is because he's long and skinny. So let's grab a sleeve. There happens to be one right here.
Hey, Colleen, before we move on to the sleeve hoop, I do have a question about the hat hoop. Nancy
Sure.
Gonzalez asked, can the machine do other types of hats besides baseball caps?
Yes. Are you thinking like the oh, I forget what they're called. Yes, it can.
Bucket
but it's
caps.
Yes, it can do a bucket cap, and it can do a visor. It can do several different styles.
Great, thank you.
Sure. So this guy is our sleeve hoop, and I'm going to show you a sleeve in just a second, but I want to show you another tool on my way to the sleeve hoop, and that is this guy. So this is a tubular arm, and what it does is support things that are awkward and long. So when I squeeze it, the bottom slides down, and it's going to slide right onto the machine and snap into place. And I'm going to move you now, Barbara, so you can see that.
Okay.
Okay.
So just let us know when you're there. This is great, guys, because I have this. This extension table comes with a 10 needle, And that's great for stabilization, but you can't put tubular items around it. So this is the answer to that, which is great. You ready, Coleen?
And yes, I am. Thank you. Now, I'm just going to grab this little fella right here with my fingers and pull him out. So it's about a 12 or 14-inch extension beyond your, no, it's more than that, beyond your arm to support those. Now, I'm not going to hoop this because that would take time, but I am going to slide it right over the support arm so that you can see. Isn't that nice, the way that lays out? You get beautiful, beautiful stitching. Isn't that cool?
Wow, nice.
I know.
So
And
that
of course,
is an optional accessory with the 10 needle currently.
it is. And it's in, let's go back. It fits every machine, every one of the Brother PRs except for the PR 600 and 602. So if you have one of the older machines, this accessory will fit. So will the cap frame, the little one I showed you with the brim, that will also go back that far. And so will the magnetic sash frame. Is that exciting? Yes. I think it's exciting that they bring out these new and exciting and wonderful accessories for us. But it's even more exciting that they make them so they go with the other machines. That keeps the value of your machine for you. Now, this is one that I have to show you that I think I'm going to take off my tubular arm. So I'm just going to release the clamp and it slides right off and folds flat and goes away. Now, this little fella right here, I'm going to pull him over here like this. Can you see him?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens here is this is a 4x4. It's a different kind of 4x4 because it's a clamp. So when we release the clamp, it pops up, and it doesn't pop up too far on the machine because that would be a problem, but it pops up. It has two sides to it. One is for slippery and one is for velvety type fabrics. And you can just slide it in, slide the shirt into it instead of hooping, slide the shirt into it, clamp it. That'll hold it into place while you adjust it and then lock. So the beauty of this is that when you're done with the shirt, you just release the clamp, pull the shirt off, and put the next shirt on. So what does that do for your time? Time is money. So what I would always recommend to you is that you get a second hoop of whatever you use a lot. If you're doing tote bags and you use a 5x7, get a second 5x7 hoop. So one hoop is embroidering, the next hoop is hooped. Now your machine gets no rest. You take the design off, put it over here on a TV tray at my house, pick the one up here, put it on, and your production starts again. You take this one off and rehoop it, and there you go. Does that make sense?
Yes. I have a really good question from Jenny asked, and does the machine recognize which of the hoops that you demonstrated?
That is a great question, and the answer is yes, it does. Thank you for asking that. It knows exactly which hoop you have on it because the way they attach to the drive arm, and there's a little switch in here that tells it exactly which hoop you have on.
So if you put on Brother branded hoop, it will recognize. Yeah. Otherwise, absolutely. You have to do a trace to make sure that the needle doesn't hit the side of the hoop if it's a non-Brother branded hoop.
Correct. But all the Brother branded ones it recognizes. And what's exciting about that is if you put on a large design and you have on a small hoop, it won't let you do anything. And it tells you, hey, you messed up there. Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty exciting. Let's see, I have a bunch more samples to show you if you have time.
Oh, yes. I would love to see that.
Okay, so
I do have a question too, Coleen. Like, whenever you're kind of doing business with a customer, how do you lead the conversation with getting started with selling Like, what do you say to the customer when
Okay,
you're,
so typically when, when people are talking about embroidery, and I'm going to turn the camera so I'm speaking to them and not to the, there we go. So typically I would, they'll say, oh gosh, I love that shirt, or that computer bag is so cute. You can give them a business card, or you say, this is my business. If you're interested in one, I'd be happy to do one for you, or whatever. A lot of times, one easy way to get things is to get a business going. To be really honest with you, you probably have one going and you just haven't recognized it, because here's what's happening right now. You are making and giving gifts, and people love them, and they're so excited. And if you are smart and they say, I love this bag so much and I'd like one for my sister, dummy here would say, oh great, and I'd make one. Well, that's not the right answer. When they say, oh, this is so cute, I really wish I had one for my mother, whatever, you say, I'd be happy to do that for you, and the price is $20, or whatever the price is that you want to get for it. And that is the key right there, is that so many people, when you've given a gift, they want that gift, they loved it, they may just want a second one for their own. Seriously, it
I
happens.
make that mistake all the time because I'm just too nice, Coleen. It's my problem.
So
Especially
you
because
did what I
it's,
did, right?
sometimes people that I know, but I think that
Same
if
thing
they
here.
know that you put time and supplies into it, then that's fair that they pay you for your for your
Well, the problem,
what you're offering.
the reason that you don't offer to make them another one is because it slams the door in their face. They now feel that they cannot, because my friends were the ones who finally told me this. Well, we can't ever ask you to do anything because you always give it to us. And we
Mm.
can't, see, we
Mm-hmm.
can't ask you because you always give it to us for free. And then we can't keep asking you. So if you just right out of the gate open the door and say, oh, I'm so glad you like that, and I'd be happy to do one for your mother, and the price for that is whatever you're going to charge them, everybody's happier. They'll come back to you over and over again because you're their friend and they trust you and they love what you did, and they'll give that same gift over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I'll
And
tell
it's
you
a
a story.
skill as well. I mean, they can't do that themselves. So the fact that you even invested in this equipment
Well,
is
most of the time,
part of your
you're
skill.
absolutely right. The equipment is a big deal, and in that, not everybody. I don't know anybody else. I know one other lady in my neighborhood who has a multi-needle, but most of my friends don't, and they love mine. I mean, there's just so much you can do with it. What I found out, and this is a story from my own family, what I found out is that we were, so here's what happened. My husband came home from having lunch with his best friend, and he said, we've been invited to so-and-so's wedding. And I said, oh, good, that'll be a fun time. And he said, he was looking really like this wasn't going to be fun at all. And I said, well, what's going on? And he said, well, they invited us because she wants the same wedding gift her sister got. So he says, do you remember what we gave them? Oh, sure. I do XYZ for wedding blankets, for wedding gifts, and no big deal. I can do that again. He said, well, can you do it again? Oh yeah, I can do that again. So he was relieved, but that was when it dawned on his mind that we were doing all of the Christmas, birthday, graduation, baby, et cetera, gifts. And that was really paying for my machine because of all the money that we saved from giving gifts. I make a nice gift that's of a much higher value than what we would have been willing to spend for sure. But that's just a story from my own life. So
Mm-hmm. Wow.
yeah. So you're actually, I'm willing to bet that everybody watching today is guilty of the same thing. They make and give gifts. They don't charge. You're saving money on every gift you make, but you also could be charging. Many years ago, when the very first PR 600 came out into the marketplace, I was working at a show in a dealer's booth, And a really young girl came up to me, and I mean young. She was in college, 20 maybe, and she bought the 6 needle. And after we were all done with the purchase, I said, "Do you mind me asking what your plans are for this?" And she said, because that's an expense for a 20-year-old. And she said, "Oh," she said, "I have a huge family. And by the time I'm done with the Christmas gifts for this year, I will have paid for my machine."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow. But that's true. So
Have you
there's
ever
all
seen
kinds
the
of
shirt, Coleen? Yes, I sew. No, I won't hem your pants. I think we all need to be a little bit more like that. And, because we invest in our machines and, when we do things for other people, I mean, like you said, they're not going to ask you to do things if you continue to do it for free and not ask
no,
for
because
any type of compensation.
no. But there's so much fun. I mean, we've just shown you like a micron of the iceberg of the fun things. And people ask me, what do I have to embroider on to make money? And my answer is, what do you like to embroider on? Because you don't have to do anything you don't want to. I know I have a neighbor a couple of miles away, and the only thing she does, she has a 10 needle. The only thing she'll do is baby horse blankets, miniature horse blankets. She won't do anything else. She's got the machine. She can do anything she wants to do. That's all she likes doing. So that's what she
Yeah.
does.
And if you're
And
around soccer teams and things like that, that just may be an easy in to show everyone the shirts and hats that you make to just make some extra money.
oh yeah, and it's easy to do. If we've got a minute, oh, we don't. We're right at the end
Oh,
of our
I think we can go a little bit more, but I wanted to, because we have such a great deal on our 10 needle embroidery machines right now. I'm going to come full screen just for a moment, and don't forget we are doing a $50 gift card at the end of this video to one lucky watcher, so stay tuned for that. I wanted to show you we have an excellent deal that just goes on through the end of the month on, and where is it? Can you see it on my screen? Or does it just
No.
say AllBrands? Okay, let's see. There it is.
There you go.
Okay, cool. So currently it is October. What's the date? I don't even know. It's crazy. I know it's sometime it's October 2020. So this promotion runs from the 16th through the 30th. And for the Brother 10 needle PR 1055X machine that Coleen and I both have in our studio, that has the My Design Center, the camera technology in it. It does the 8x14-inch embroidery area. It has the sashing. It comes with the 4 hoops, the extension table. We have some extras to give you with that. So for this month, and can you see this? Oh, it's not scrolling down. Let's see. Looks like it is locking up. So let me just pull it back up just a moment. Just a second. Okay, let's try this again, Coleen. Let's see.
I can tell because I know one of the most exciting parts, but I won't tell. I'll keep it a secret.
Okay, now you can see it.
Oh,
Okay, so this is the machine, and we're including
wow.
the 7 freebies, $5,700 in extras with this machine. The stand, the full PE Design 11 professional digitizing software. This is only from AllBrands, guys. A choice of the wide cap equipment or the flat brim cap equipment. And there is a Brother rebate. So you get a piece of paper, you mail it into Brother with your purchase receipt, and they will send you that clamp frame that Coleen showed. You get free in-store instruction in our Louisiana and Texas stores. It comes with Brother's awesome manufacturer's warranty, which is 25 years head, 6 years electrical, and 2 years parts and labor. If you are not able to come to our store for health reasons, and you are in Louisiana or Texas, and you're able to purchase it in the store and just not transport it to your house, We can ship it to your location during the pandemic. And there's 60 months, 0% financing. So you can defer your payments so that you can sell items in the meantime to supplement your machine purchase. But you do have to come into one of our Louisiana or Texas stores to purchase this machine. And guess what? You have 3 options. You can get off of the full MSRP of the machine in the bundle is 41% off, or you can opt not to do financing and get our lowest in-store new in box cash price for the machine. Or if you have a trade-in, we're also taking in trades. So do you have an older PR? What was one of the first 10 needles, Coleen? PR 1000?
The PR 1000. Still a nice machine.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles or the My Design Center, I don't believe.
Yeah. So we also take trade-ins. And here's another thing. So if you want to purchase any additional Brother accessories for that machine during the month of October, we are offering 30% off of Brother branded accessories with that machine purchase. So that is actually including the scan and cut, the PR playbook, the magnetic frame. If you wanted to get the Ava cabinet, you can switch that out for the stand, or if you want both, you can get the Ava cabinet for 30% off. 10-year extended warranty, Durkee 8-in-1 easy frames, that tubular arm, Durkee flat hat frame. So now's the time. This is actually our Better Than Black Friday specials from now through the end of October. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all didn't miss out on that, because it is an amazing, amazing offer at our AllBrands.com locations in Louisiana and Texas.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I think we just got a reaction with the exclamation face, like surprised face on there. Yeah.
Oh.
So that is only available at our locations in Louisiana and Texas, guys.
Well, for that price, you could probably drive there and have a nice little road trip.
You know, the weather is perfect right now, to be honest.
I was going to say, there's hurricanes today, so you could drive to Houston and eat barbecue.
Yeah.
And so were there any other questions that have popped up? Are there things that you wanted us to talk about or to tell you? Is there anything that we left, any stone we left unturned? Because we don't want you to feel like we didn't cover your questions.
Okay, so we aren't able to say the MSRP of the machine, but you can contact your local AllBrands.com location and speak to a specialist over the phone for that, to get the rest of the information that we aren't allowed to advertise online or during videos. And so like pricing like that, you just call our stores to get that information. So another question that we have, Coleen, is we did get the question about the frame size, but also, like, can we just confirm what are the included accessories and what are the optional accessories with the 10 needle PR 1055X?
Sure. So the machine head, there's a toolkit that comes with it. There is the scan mat so that you can scan designs in. And then there are 4 included hoops. So there's 4x4, 5x7. I think there's a little teeny guy. And then there's the almost 8x14. Mm-hmm. Those 4 hoops come with it. And 2 arms, the A arm and the B arm. The B arm doesn't come with any hoop. But as soon as you start buying accessory hoops and you find they fit on the B arm, you're glad you have it.
I have all the accessories here too, if anybody wanted to see anything in particular. Yeah. But this extension arm is included. And the reason why you want that is if you're doing heavy towels, you don't want the weight of the towel to pull the hoop down, which could make the hoop go like this. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that something you're including? Is that an
This
AllBrands? Yeah.
this is in the box with the machine. When I unboxed it,
The
it
table
was in
is.
it. The
Oh,
tape.
okay.
Yeah, this extension table, but not
Okay.
this. This is an
Yeah. Okay.
optional accessory that AllBrands
Right.
just so happens to be including in October. That's the
Oh, what a
roller
nice.
stand.
That's really, really
Yeah.
nice.
But
Those are nice.
this is included in the box though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a nice package. What I have found for most people is they're going to get everything that they need in the box for a while. That's enough to really get you going. And then later on, you might add extra hoops, or if you know that you're going to really want to do certain, I want to do shoes. Okay, well then buy the shoe clamp. Um, I want to do hats. Then get that. But you're offering one of the hat choices right there with their package, so that's really a good deal. But in the box, it's the machine head, the extension table, the toolbox with all kinds of goodies in it, and the 4 hoops.
Yeah. And also just we forgot to tell them this new 10 needle, you can link up to 4 machines. So if your business just goes crazy and you're just like doing this full time, you can have 4 machines running at the same time. And they have a new app called My Stitch Monitor app for the machine that allows you to see, like, say you're with a client and you're talking about some things, you can see where your machine is stitching and if you need to go change something, or your bobbin thread, runs out or something like that, which is great.
Those are nice. I'm going to tell you another secret. The link is one that will do up to 4 machines, but by Wi-Fi, because this machine does have Wi-Fi, you can link 10. You can link up to 10 of these machines with Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's what it was, 10. Thank you, Coleen. This is the scanning frame. So you can actually digitize in the machine. But if you're doing it for a business, I highly suggest getting the PE Design 11 professional digitizing software.
Well, especially for the photo stitch and so many of the things that you're going to be doing. The reason that I love the onboard digitizing, but my machine cannot digitize and sew at the same time. So I use my PE Design 11 to create the design and have the machine stitch it.
Mm-hmm.
And that way my machine gets no breaks. It's got to work all the time. But I do use the online digitizing, like I said, like I did today with this adorable, adorable, adorable little.
It was so easy to use. And the fact that you can do quilting on the machine too is pretty awesome. And I love it. Gwen asks, tell me about not hooping straight. She messes up a lot by not getting her hooping right. And guess what, Gwen? If you don't have the snowman feature, oh man, you're going to cry like Coleen did when you experience it for yourself.
Gwen, the thing is, the hooping is, sometimes you put it in and then you put the hoop down and it's not quite straight. And it may only be 1 degree off, but it's enough for your eye to pick it up, especially with a plaid or a stripe or some of the florals. It's really hard. So what you do is while the shirt or whatever is sitting on the table, you determine where you want that design to be and you just put the snowman on there straight. I'll usually press a crease or like with the t-shirts here, I just finger press down the middle so that I know that I'm getting it straight up and down. Well, if it's straight up and down, I don't have to worry about anything else. And then when I hoop it, if it's a degree or 10 degrees or whatever off, it's fine. The machine, the camera eye looks at it and says, oh, bless her heart, the poor little thing. And it fixes it and it stitches perfectly every time. I have never had it fail me. Literally, I never get anything straight. Fortunately, the machine does, so I'm always perfect.
Yep. So Miss Cruz says, which hat hoop gives you more options, or is there such a thing? I think the wide angle cap frame is the most versatile, correct?
The wide angle cap frame is the most versatile, but the newest one that we showed you with the little brim on it, that had the little holder on it, That one is so much easier to use it. If I thought I was just going to use and do the front of a cap, I would buy that one.
Yeah.
Because not everybody wants 3 designs. They just want a little something plopped in front. And, you know, you kind of have to look ahead and see what does your family wear? What would they like?
Mm-hmm.
Either one, or if you're going to get the package, take the 14-inch in the package and then buy the other one. I don't know which one's left, but that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because I would buy both. But it depends on what you're marketing for. Are you going to do a lot of hats? If you are, then really take a look at that 14-inch, because as you can expand and not have to work any harder at it, then my goodness, that's gravy.
Yeah,
So,
not having to rehoop is so nice to do the
yeah.
sides like you showed, which is great.
Yeah.
So we're nearing the end, and Doreen, I will definitely think about doing a video on quilting because there's just so much that this new PR 1055X by Brother offers in the quilting world that the PR 1050 didn't. I've just been going to town. You saw my stippling. So we'll have another video specifically dedicated to that because it's just that's a rabbit hole that'll take a whole another hour to show you everything that's in
And
there.
minimum that. Yeah, it's impressive though. It is impressive.
Yeah.
You saw this
So
guy, and it's perfect. And we all know I'm not. So
I love that you don't even have to think about it. And I can have my embroidery machine going, and I love to sew and quilt and do Scan-A-Cut, and I can do things simultaneously. So why not make money at the same time? You know, it's just a no-brainer.
And like I said, you know, the making money part, yes, you will make money, but you're already making money. You just haven't acknowledged it to yourself yet. You're making money with every gift that you give instead of buying a gift. So you're already doing it. You just haven't accepted that yet.
And I hope y'all are making all your Christmas gifts for people because that's so much more meaningful than buying something for the store. So one last question, and then we have to head out today. So, and then I'll be doing the announcement for the $50 gift card winner. So let's see. Cindy says, flat one is for unstructured cap only. I guess I don't really understand.
An unstructured cap is one that doesn't have any body to it. The flat brim is really designed to handle the flat brim and the structured style of caps because those are more challenging to work with.
Got it. Got it. All right. So I'm going to.
It will work with any of the caps.
Yeah.
It will work with it.
Okay. So we do have some other exciting announcements. We're going to be doing, oh my goodness, on Thursday we have a virtual event with So Steady. You have to pre-register for that. On Tuesday, next Tuesday, we're going to be doing another Martelli virtual sales event. And guess what? We have a new hydraulic table that has a cutout for the multi-needle machines, which is awesome. So that's going to be brand new product. And then,
do you need a tester for that?
I know, really. I'll let them know. I'll send them your number, Coleen.
Yeah. I volunteer.
So, and then on Friday, we have a Designs and Machine Embroidery virtual holiday gift making class that you do have to pre-register for as well. So our only live one that we're going to show on the show that's open to everyone is the Martelli event, but the other two you do have to pre-register to get into those classes. And for those of you who pre-registered for Embroidery Garden, that's on Thursday. It is sold out, but we will be doing some more in the future. So, oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Coleen.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Yes. And guess what? AllBrands is going to have a virtual booth at the Houston International Quilt Festival.
Really?
And yes, I just registered for our booth. So more information coming soon. That's going to be December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And we'll be doing tons of live. So to get registered for the virtual Houston International Quilt Festival, head on over to www.quilts.com and get your virtual ticket for that, because we'll also be doing some great specials there as well. So
That's exciting. I didn't
yes.
know that. That's exciting.
Yeah, but this special that we're having now, I originally called it Better Than Black Friday because it is. Um, so I wanted to give everybody that heads up, like this is the best deal
Right.
to get on this machine right now. Um, just not to miss out on that.
Well, and then
But
you'd have the time to do for Christmas gifts. You know, December
exactly.
3rd, you get it so really fast. If you got
Yes.
it now, you
Christine, you have my permission to do, she said, I would love to do embroidery for a living. She loves her PR1050X machine. And yes, you have my permission. Colleen, does she have your permission?
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. My neighbor retired so she could, so you might as well too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Oh, and I have to pick a name. So everybody kind of chime in, give me some comments. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video at the end of the month, which is the end of the fall promotion for the 10 needle machine that we just talked about, the PR1055X. At the very end of that promotion, we're going to be giving away a $100 gift card to someone who likes, comments, and shares. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. But right now we're doing a $50 AllBrands gift card. So give me some comments. I'll give them a chance to roll in. And congratulations, Jenny Osborne. You won the allbrands.com $50 gift card. So direct message us on Facebook, your email address, phone number, and address, I guess. Just your email because it's digital, and I'll send that to you. And thank you so much, Coleen and brother, for being
Thank you.
awesome.
It's fun.
Great company. We're in great company.
We are. We
Yeah.
are. Thanks so much for letting us join you today.
Yes.
It was fun. And I
It's
hope
always
everybody walked away with a little something new in their head.
Mm-hmm. It's a no-brainer. I mean, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Coleen. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And I hope you guys have a great day. Mwah.
Bye-bye.